Oh, I thought that was like...
Rain begins to fall. Because you're not wrong. It's barely an hour after dawn. But the rain still pours down. As this moment of clarity comes over Irina. As you kind of see her face go through multiple stages of realization and hesitation and grief, and finally slowly coming to a resolution. And she signs towards you, and Chekhov, you see, and of course Ismark translates as she goes. She is saying, perhaps it does not need to be exactly done. But we will need the priest to say a couple of words.
Very well. I shall go and retrieve the priest.
You go and walk back.
Yep.
As Mark watches you go, it's like, help me get it in.
Yeah, I help. We help him get the body in.
I mean, it like kind of fusses, but he just kind of gently escorts her out of the way. You help him get the coffin up. He carefully takes the front of it off, lays it carefully on the ground. Roll good. You have a +5 to athletics. That's a natural 19. That counts.
Hey.
What is this, like to lower the body into like the hole in the ground?
This is to not drop the marble front of the. It's like the hole that you slide it into the side of the mausoleum and then you close it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is the mausoleum.
This is the family mausoleum. You relatively easily pick it up, slide it in. He looks hesitant for a moment about leaving it in this slipshod coffin. And you, again, notice that there is a moment of hardness that crosses his face, and he picks up the marble slab and slots it back in and snaps it back. Okay, he's in.
Notch would like to go and search for that Wolfsbane and Sage real quick to put those in before the priest comes by.
Roll nature check.
Do you want help?
I would not refuse help.
If you mention that's what you're going to look for, Katya perks up and grabs her herbalism kit. Like me, I know exactly what they look like. And with the herbalism kit, which I have double proficiency in, I just need to hit a 15 to find Wolfsbane.
Okay.
With a nature check.
Alright.
So that is a 14. Is it?
It would be me rolling if you're helping me since I have the higher. So let me. Oh, you're helping me, so I roll it. Oh yeah, natural 18 plus all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sage, I'm gonna say I already had in my herbalism kit, like I had the jasmine, because is not useful for potions. But I look for the Wolfsbane, which I definitely rolled high enough for. I just need to really quickly roll how much I find. But I need to see how much.
In the meantime, Chekhov,
Where's the priest?
while you figure that all out.
Yes, yeah.
Where's the priest?
You walk back into the church as rain begins to pick up, thunder begins to rumble. As your feet kind of tap over this section of the floor, you feel something bang against the underside of the timbers.
Can I call out wife?
Roll raw intelligence.
15.
definitely something. Definitely something with a fist and something that is being very aggressive.
Where is the priest?
He is on his way back to the altar, but he was moving very slowly, so you caught up to him pretty quickly. He's right there on the map.
Priest,
Yeah.
your services are required outside.
There's more banging on the floor under him. It's like, Father! He just doesn't. He gets a little stiffer in the spine. Like, and why would that be? His hands are starting to shake as the banging is getting harder and louder.
They decided to expedite the burial ceremony.
You've decided what?
They've decided to expedite the burial ceremony. And your services are required to finalize it.
Roll a steep persuasion check.
I'm not trying to persuade. I'm just telling it as it is.
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be a 7.
They are.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He had the slow grunt in the background. So, Ismark the Lesser has decided to spoil his family mausoleum. Far be it from me to stop him. He is welcome to do so, but I will do no blessing for something that has not followed the rules
But you must.
to the letter.
Priest, you must.
I do not need to must.
You must, or else the pain will not stop.
What do you mean?
The pain that they are feeling for their father.
There's like a slow drag of claws underneath the timber. Oh.
That is me trying to persuade.
Yeah, go for it.
That is a 16.
Ooh. He's better.
I was welling up a little bit there.
There's a moment. Nods. He slowly starts to walk past you. He doesn't say anything, but he just starts to walk out the door. Fingers slowly working. And then you hear,
I look down.
there's the slightest crack in the floorboard, and you see something peeking out at you.
What color is it?
Perception.
Like, am I getting like an eye that glows in the dark? Oh, okay. That is a 10.
Why would someone leave like a little ruby marble pressed up against the crack of a church floor?
I bend down and take a closer look.
And then you see it's an eye. Single red, glassy eye that is staring up at you with a level of hunger and desperation that you've never seen before. It's like, the priest is gone. Can you help me? Please.
Who are you?
My name is Doru. He's kept me
Insight.
For it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
I
no.
rolled a 5.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh wait, no, it's a 7.
no. Oh god.
But-
Less no.
Mm.
The thing is, even if you rolled high, he's not blind.
That eye's not normal though.
I think that.
I'm
whatever you
yeah.
decide.
I'm Alright, so
There's a door. There's a door. There's like a something moving under the floor.
mhm.
As something starts to move this way and comes back.
I follow the noise.
Oh god.
I open the door.
Opens.
Alright.
You were just supposed to get to the best.
Time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trap door held shut with a chain and a padlock. Over here. Over here.
Have you been locked in here?
What'd you say?
Have you been locked in here?
Yes. The padlock and chain are fastened.
Did your father do this?
Yes.
Why did he do this?
When I came back from the attack on the castle a year ago, I thought it wasn't normal. I thought things would be different. Let me out!
You went to the castle?
Yes, yes, yes.
Why did you go to this to the castle?
To overthrow the count.
The count?
Yes.
I think I met this count.
Really? You met the count?
He attacked me.
He attacked me too.
He killed another.
He does that. Can you let me out?
I don't have a key to open this lock.
Just pull it. Just pull it really hard. Please.
That would be great.
He has the keys. He has the keys. You can either take them, or you can pull it open, or you can do get anything. Please, 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 please.
Oh gosh, I'm in a chappy moment right now.
I have 3 hit points.
Just if you let him out. Right.
I want to think about what would be the right course of action for him to do. Is there a skill that I would need to roll for that?
I would say roll a charisma saving throw.
Okay. A charisma save? Yeah, because it's playing on my emotions. Shit, it's not as...
What'd you
I
roll?
rolled a 3.
Oh my god.
The right. What does that mean? It means causing people the least amount of pain as possible, right? So, to alleviate this man's pain, it would make sense to just do as he asks. I think that is a logical course of thought for Chekhov. You can add or subtract anything from that if you like.
Because I want to use that feature that I have where I can go and like add a d6 to a skill check for utilizing like past experiences and memories. I want to use that feature.
All right. What would that bring you to?
I'm going off of past knowledge to look for wisdom. Kind of like in how I had that flashback of being a little girl and like feeling sadness for a dead father. I know what it means to feel pain because of that. That's why I brought that up to the priest the first time, to stop the pain.
In that case, also leave with that next time.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Because if you just tell me what do I think is the right thing, I don't know what that means. I
Yeah.
want to use this ability to add a d6 or something.
Yeah.
In that case, roll a history check and add a d6 to it.
Yeah. So that is up to a 9 plus that is 12. I feel like, yeah, I need to let him out, but I rolled a 12 for
History.
yes.
This deserves some music change.
I'm going through a moment. I'm having an episode.
Oh God. If your episodes lead to letting out a vampire spawn, it could be so.
White. You're fighting. Longsword flashing. Fangs snap at you. You grab the front of a struggling woman with ivory white face and snapping jaws and glassy red eyes and just throw her to the side. You turn around. You recognize these hands. These are your hands. It's like, go back! The vampire spawned too many! Stepping back and a heavy stone door slams in front of you, closing, staying closed. And you're back. Please. If you let me out, nothing's bad's gonna happen. It's fine, please.
You are like one of them, aren't they?
Who?
You are a spawn of a vampire.
I'm fine. You don't have to roll insight to know he's not fine.
I get up.
No.
I just turn and I walk away.
No! No!
And I exit the church.
No!
As thunder and lightning crackle in the distance. Meanwhile, back outside.
Meanwhile,
Oh my God.
We all distribute it evenly. That should keep that smelling nice and not undead.
I had given you sage, which you laid over the body, and I rolled a 4 on a d4, and I got 4 wolfsbane flowers. So I give you one of the flowers, and I tell you to. I think this would actually be a part of her own like Vistani rituals. She would put it on his tongue and close his mouth, and I keep the other 3 for reasons. And then we've shut it. Ismark put on the marble facing. I'm guessing by the time the priest has wandered over.
a shadow falls over the inside of the mausoleum. And the father stands there. Chekhov is not within. I am told you have a great amount of faith. He takes out what looks like an old hymnal. Touches his holy symbol. He takes a breath and he begins to recite a prayer of the morning. Irina slumps slightly in relief and leans against Ismark. Ismark's face is drawn and I think kind of angry.
I mean, grief shows in different ways.
Finally, the father finishes the prayers, stands back up, sighs deeply, takes a step back. I hope that this helps. Don't do it again! As he points at Ismark, and Ismark actually glares at him. Lowers his hand and turns back to you, you're the tallest in the group, basically. And he says, I would recommend to take her very far from this place. If the rumors are true, no one will give you shelter here. Very well. He turns and he starts to walk back to the chapel.
I intercept.
Oh yeah, because you were coming from the church by then.
Yeah. I'm going to say this is about 15 feet outside the mausoleum.
Why is it there?
What are you talking about?
The spawn you keep underneath the chapel. Why is it there?
The church bell starts to ring.
What is the reaction that you two have to hearing this?
I mean, Katya had a guess. She saw a zombie in a window. She got bit by a vampire lord. She had a guess. It was something unnatural and not okay. So, really, you just confirmed a suspicion that she had. And she just kind of has this look of, you see her. She had followed the priest. You accuse him of having a vampire spawn beneath the church, and you watch her eyes narrow, and she glares at the back of the priest's head. She believes you. But she doesn't say anything. She's waiting for him to respond.
Gnoch just kind of heaves a sigh. Oh, great, vampires now too. This gets better and better, doesn't it? And he reaches to his pocket to make a thumb at the crystal.
Okay. In response, the father goes, "Do not owe creature of Durst Manor any sort." Response to that? We'll be going now.
I wish to grapple him.
Go for it.
So that's going to be a dirty 20.
19!
So
Flat.
close.
Good.
So
Flat
close.
19.
Alright, his movement is 0 now.
Go!
By the way, I'm going to say I grab him by the neck because every
Oh.
6 seconds I can do a d4 damage to him.
This is a regular person.
I
Okay.
know.
Okay.
You'll just straight up kill him.
I know.
Oh god.
Okay. You grab him by the throat as he tries to move around you. I'll allow you to say one more thing, and then I need you to roll initiative.
So he said,
Says, I don't owe a creature of Durst Manor any answer to that.
alright, I don't know.
the wrong card. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't have a bonus strength.
You owe everyone an explanation for harboring such a vile thing within these walls.
Okay. There's the background, not the character, not the stat block.
Maybe no one expected anyone to attack the priest, so there is no stat block.
No, it's a monster with addition.
Yeah, he's a.
Oh.
Isn't he just a cleric?
Okay, here we go. I thought, you see, off the top of my head, I thought he was a priest, which is why I was the priest card.
Ah. Is he a priest or a cleric? He's a priest.
He is a priest, but like there is a monster stat block priest,
Yeah.
and there is a lowercase priest. It says in the book he is a male acolyte in bold. So
so he's an acolyte.
He's an acolyte.
Right.
He is a acolyte with he has the stats of an acolyte.
Yeah.
With a capital A. Okay. That's much less scary. Okay.
Oh yeah, he is like, honestly, side note, if he's one of the cards that you draw, I'm just like, I don't know how he survives the whole campaign.
I didn't know he was a card you could draw.
He is. There's a lot of people who you are like, wait, he's an important NPC?
Oh god. Okay.
You say
You owe everyone an explanation. Basically.
Like, I italicized everyone.
Yeah.
come look at that.
By the way, would that
That's
be...
a one!
Well, I don't care what I roll. I mean,
No,
No,
this
him.
isn't. I'm not. I'm about to say what that one was about.
yeah.
He looks at you and doesn't recognize you and just struggles against you and get off me. And I'm gonna need you to roll intimidation. Then I need you to roll initiative.
Do we all need to roll initiative?
No, I'm not gonna do that. It's, so I got a 5.
Okay. Yeah, he
Actually, you know what? Not seems thematic. Why not? Is there a high number I need to be here with an intimidation?
no, but for reasons unknown.
I'm gonna try and pull from past experiences. I'm done using that ability now. I have to take a long rest. Now I'm drawing from that other memory, that person being intimidating. So there's that last d6. It's a 4. So I got a 9
Okay.
for intimidation.
It is below average, and he does not recognize you. So, I am sorry to say,
It's fine.
he does continue to struggle. He rolled initiative against you. He rolled a 20 for initiative.
There's a
Nat
little
20.
bit of who I am, but it's garbled and lost.
It is. I need you to roll initiative. Just you.
That would be a 4.
Oh my god.
Okay, so he goes first, and he is going to try to break your grapple.
Oh shit.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 10.
Oh.
He breaks out of your grapple and runs away from you, provoking an attack of opportunity. What do you do?
I'd like to have that. I'd like to have that attack be replaced with a special attack to grapple him again.
Can you do that?
Let me see here.
Because it's good to know for the future.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Chekhov is getting into a genuine scuffle with the priest, and his voice is deeper and more rumbling than usual, almost like the thunder from overhead.
Well, the priest just unintentionally admitted that he's harboring a fucking vampire spawn underneath his church, and was being very rude about it.
No, it's just one melee attack.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you going to take it or not?
Which way is he running towards?
Towards the church.
Yeah, no, I let him go.
Okay. His Doru is next in the initiative.
His what?
Don't, you'll find out. I like that reward ability. That's really nice. I also really will need to get that grappler ability.
Okay. It's going to be a 19 to try to bust out. Because he's angry now. He had the chance to get out. You said no. He's going to try to bust out himself. I know that there is an AC and hit points for that door. Oh, that's yeah. You hear a wet splintering sound from inside of the church, and a cry of relief. And the priest kind of slows and goes, he's back.
Oh.
Starts to walk towards the chapel with his arms outstretched.
Like, is he like outside here? Or?
He is like on his way back. He's like rounding the corner now. You guys are over here.
Okay.
We're like behind the church.
You're like just behind it. But he is like wandering back. He is going out of sight as he is going to walk back into the chapel. Ismark like just taps your shoulder and your shoulder's like, we gotta go.
Yeah, gonna grab Chekhov. I just kind of grab onto your arm,
Okay.
and I just look at you, and I'm like, what he did was wrong, and you're right. But we are in no position to fight one of those, and it just got out. We have to go.
Spending a spell slot to cast Speak with Animals on the elk.
Okay.
Soon as we're in the wagon, run. We'll steer once we're away from the temple.
Where are we going?
Away from here.
That has many different possibilities.
Possibility.
But okay.
Okay. Can I roll insight to figure out what he's doing? You're like making elk noises.
And as Muffin finished speaking, Croissant just goes, "Come on, bitch, let's ride!"
I'm actually... The way I would like to flavor the spellcasting is a spell circle appears between Notch's fingers, and he holds it up to his throat.
Oh, fun!
Love that.
So you hear common, but there's like an undertone echo. It's kind of like wispy.
What would I need to roll to know what you're doing?
Arcana.
Because I would love to know that you're talking
See,
to my
11.
elks.
That's.
I rolled a natural 11 plus 2.
Yeah, you know
13.
exactly what this is.
So I understand what you're doing, and I realize who you're talking to and what you've said, and I go, Vallaki! Tell them we're heading to Vallaki!
Vallaki.
They know the way. No, you said they know the way.
Oh yeah, the place with a bunch of.
Let's go.
Okay.
Muffin and croissant, I love them so much.
Chekhov, you watch the priest go around the corner, step in. You're technically still in initiative if you want to be, but you can also just let this happen.
I like my friends, and I know what's going to happen to the priest, and the priest deserves what's coming to him. I'm just going to use this bonus action just to regain some hit points.
Okay.
Second wind, and then abscond.
Let's go. You all get hastily into the wagon and immediately you hear Muffin go, whoop, and and Croissant goes, whoa, and you take off down the road.
We gone,
Down that way. But as you skid, as you like Tokyo drift,
Tokyo drift
back that way, for a moment the back of the wagon is facing the interior of the thing, and you see the haggard, pale figure of something come out of the room.
Boy.
Keep it, just in case.
And you actually do see, I missed you, wrap his arms around the priest to embrace him. And you see Father Donovich lean in and squeeze his son tight. He makes eye contact with Chekhov. And sink his fangs into the entire half of this man's throat, almost replacing where your hand was. Swallow by swallow, hot life disappears down his gullet, drops it, and just watches you go. And just screams in relief and excitement. And you are gone.
Show of hands. Who here's a local?
Smart raises a hand. Irina raises a hand.
Katya kind of goes like from the she's like at the range. She goes, there is family here. I am Vistani, yes, but I was born and raised outside of Barovia. So. She just kind of like does the thing.
Look, Dominic and I are not going to prevaricate around the bush. This place sucks.
Who's Dominic? Does the dog appear?
No, he Notch pulls a green, kind of glowing shard of crystal out of his pocket.
This is Dominic. He's taking a break for a while, but
By chance, DM, would a 21 tell me anything about that? In Arcana?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious. Go ahead.
You have
That's
no
fine.
way of knowing.
No, see, I like that. I wanted to see would I have had a way of knowing or absolutely not. So I like knowing. Oh, I have not been in contact with anything like that before. Cool.
Nope.
Hey, good for you. I was like, okay, very good.
Trust me, we know.
Vallaki it is.
Off you go. Into the dark.
Chekhov is good at brood.
Brood can check.
There was a moment of quiet, and then a little tap, a little soft tap on your shoulder. You have a very good shouting voice.
You have a very good shouting voice.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
I know how this feels.
What do you mean?
There are times where people don't tell me everything, and I don't like not knowing. But sometimes it's scary to know, too. As crows, you hear cawing in the sky over the wagon.
I don't know who I was. All I know is that those things are evil. And they must be destroyed.
If you do not like vampires, then why did the priest say you were from Durst Manor? She looks more confused. She doesn't look accusatory. She just looks concerned and...
Wait, did she say Durst Manor?
Yeah.
Oh. I do not know. I've had memories of fighting them on a field, but also being a young girl with my mother, mourning the death of my father. And there's like a little, like a wellows of tear, and it rolls down the perfectly crafted face.
You see a single drop of dark brown blood slide. She, you cannot see this, gently wraps her arms, her hands around your arm and leans against you. I miss my father too.
Thank you.
Do you like to read? Do you like poetry? I like poetry.
That's cute.
I don't know. I don't remember. But I would be open to find out.
She takes a book of poetry out of the back of her and hands it to you because she cannot read it herself.
Grab. I'd like to try and remember how to read.
Remember how to read.
Okay. I read.
You remember, you read, give me a performance check.
Performance?
Yes.
I can't read this to myself quietly?
I think she wants you to read it out loud.
Oh boy.
Irina.
I rolled an 11.
You are not as robotic as you could be. I'm going to switch this back to some softer music. In a slightly stilted, but not unpleasant way, Chekhov's voice reads poetry. It is slightly dark, but it is longing and aching in a way. You finish a couple of pages. What are the rest of you doing in the meantime? Ismark has his arms folded up over his knees, and he is just like, eyes are locked, fixed.
You can go first. On whatever Nosh is doing.
Notch will head into the driver's section of the wagon, utilizing the last few minutes of speak with animals to tell Muffin and Croissant to keep their eyes open for threats.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I actually have a perfect poem for this.
Go for it.
No man is an island, entire of itself. Each is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, the land is less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thine own, or of thine friends were. Each man's death diminishes me, for I am involved in mankind. Therefore, said not to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee.
Irina snuggles into your shoulder a little more, and you notice that while she is not happy, she is sated in a way of bringing this small bit of her ruined home into the back of a Vistani wagon. Ismark reaches over and kind of, in a very big brotherly way, starts to like comb her tangled hair back with his fingers and braid it into something a little more appropriate for travel. And they listen to the poem, which is undoubtedly very dog-eared in the corner, very often read, about whom the bell tolls. Meanwhile, up in the front...
I have inspiration.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
you
does that
absolutely can.
Those little inspiration tokens.
Yes, I forgot about it. Blink. But
Boom.
there you go. That is free advantage.
Yeah.
So you've used the last of your spell to tell my elk to be good, keep an eye on the road.
We got it. We're gonna do the best that we ever done.
And what is essentially like
Go muffin, go. Go
Hey.
muffin.
two magic circles that are like, one is hovering around Natch's throat, the other one is hovering around his ear like a Bluetooth earpiece. Flickers and fades as the spell ends.
And then you just hear Muffin go.
Just happy elk.
Meanwhile, Croissant has like the shoulders up and the head down, and it's just like. Blah, blah, blah.
Do you do anything else up there? Katya is at the helm. Helm. Reins.
Oh. I'd say Notch is also mainly keeping watch, but he makes a side comment. He gestures to Croissant, like, that was definitely the go-getter of the duo.
Well, yeah. I've had the muffin since he was a wee one, but Croissant, we got. Well, you can consider him a rescue. He's very determined to protect. Well, he was very protective of me and my uncle, but my uncle is gone now. You notice that the earring that she'd had in her ear, a single gold coin earring, she has removed it, like from the hook that dangles from her ear, and she's been like rubbing it like a worry stone between her fingers, the reins in her other hand.
Why did you name your companions after pastries?
Because pastries are the best. Everybody loves pastries.
Well, I mean, I'm not arguing with you, but I mean, would you name your kid after a pastry?
No, but they're not my kid.
Oh, there's nothing against you. I always just find it really strange.
They are... Look, muffin is as sweet as muffins. Blueberry muffins, to be very specific. You notice that Muffin is the paler elk, but there are like the gray spots on its rump that would be classed as blue to, you know, the animal world, really. Like, there is like, in terms of like certain dog breeds and cat breeds, blue is in the name when they're a certain gray color.
Yeah.
And Croissant is, how do I put? He is crusty but savory.
There's like a grunting war cry from this older, dark brown elk.
Mm-hmm. But he is good and reliable. Like chocolate that you find in a warm croissant.
You put chocolate in croissants?
Yeah, you can put a lot of things in croissants. But chocolate ones are the best. I can only have chocolate on very rare occasions. I have a slight intolerance during certain times of the month.
I understand that.
It's like, for her, you know how you crave chocolate on your period? It's the reverse. She can't have chocolate
feed dogs chocolate
during a certain time of the month. She can't have chocolate.
I just realized that the perfect name for a pair of twins would be macaron and macaroon.
No, that's the worst.
No, that's the worst. Shut up. So, sorry you just kind of got wrapped up in all of this.
It happens.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you want to get out of here once we're in Vallaki. I've got the feeling that things are going to continue to get weird. I mean, we already... You see her kind of glance to the side. She's in the middle. You've come up to one side of the helm part where the reins are. On the other side, neatly stacked in a pile on the seat, are the many different shades of brown wrappings and scarves that you briefly saw on the floor in that wrecked manor that she has collected. You probably do recognize them from the strange figure that was wrapped all in brown cloth that ran by in Village of Barovia.
Chekhov, roll me, I believe it is 8d20. Let me know if you get higher than let me know if you get an 18 or higher. Keep going. Okay.
Yeah. My uncle always warned me about this place. So, I guess he was accurate to say,
We're close to... And he points at the rags.
I barely knew him for 24 hours, but he still did it in front of me. Trying to defend us.
From what or who, may I ask?
The Count. Strahd von Zerach. My uncle used to tell me stories about him like he was the boogeyman. Some people might have thought that that was just a story to scare children, or just, scary stories passed down through, us Vistani. But it was the way he told it. I always knew that it wasn't a story. Perhaps he exaggerated certain things, as you would when you're telling any tale, but I knew this person he was speaking of was indeed a monster in some fashion. A real one that I had hoped I would not ever... Well, my uncle hoped I would never meet, but...
I've heard rumblings about this Zarevich guy. There's a family called the Van Richtens who've been on his tail for years. Well, years is a bit of an understatement. It's probably been generations.
Do I recognize that name anymore?
I guess you do.
I mean, I'm just curious. It could be something that my uncle told me. Stories. He told me so many stories.
Yeah.
History... I get a +2. 15 + 2, so 17.
About 30 years ago, about 20 or 25 years ago, Rudolf Van Richten was, hearing that is like hearing Van Helsing. That is a legendary vampire hunter that made his name 20, 25 years ago from killing his fucking name.
Yes, actually,
He actually has a fucking name.
yeah, this is
Baron something. Baron Matus.
Baron Matus.
Killed a very powerful vampire that was causing great havoc in the domain of Drakor. It's been some time since then, so it makes sense that Rudolf and Richten, if he's still around, which apparently he is, would be older in years. You haven't heard any major stories about him since then, but I've heard of him.
Well, yeah, I think I've heard of him before. Probably from one of my uncle's stories. What brings you here? You, though. What brings you here? I mean, we've all got our reasons. I was just curious what yours.
Natch pulls out the crystal again. Him. And he points to Chekhov. And them.
She glances up at you. You are not going to hurt him in any way, are you? I would be very cross if you are.
I'm very much into self-preservation, so as long as they don't make the first move, my hands will be off.
Good. Because Chekhov is a good one. I can tell.
How much longer have you known Chekhov than your other friend?
About the same amount of time. But I'm good at reading people. Comes in my line of work. That one's just trying to remember. He was dealt a bad card, you could say. I think he deserves the chance to learn who they are.
Dealt a bad card, nothing. His deck was laid on a bad table. If by deck, I of course mean all the components that make up them as a person. And by table, I mean an actual table.
Of course. She kind of side-eyes you. Do you believe in the cards, in fate?
I'm more of a take charge of your own fate kind of guy.
I bet I could get something from you through a card. She reaches around into one of her little satchels on her belt and pulls out a deck. This is the normal one. This is not the evil one. And she just says, she just picks them. I shuffled this at home.
I'll take your word for it.
She plops it in front of you.
Should you be doing that while driving?
They know where they're going. They always know the way. Cut the deck wherever you feel is appropriate, and then draw the card in the middle.
Okay. And he reaches for the hand axe at his belt and unbuttons it.
No, cut means split. As in...
You're actually on that a lot faster than I thought you would.
I'm protective. Is my family deck.
This is a fun joker.
That was a good joke. Good joke.
So you can split the deck wherever you feel, and then you draw the card that you've basically removed.
Most other fortune tellers who don't realise until the blade's up above my head.
Okay. And then just draw that card.
Alright, that one. And then...
And turn it over. That's so fitting. Oh my god, you have no idea. I just need to remind myself on it for a second. You show her the card you drew.
Does it depend on what side is facing?
This one actually is all one face. It's not reverse. I interpret it but because of the way I had him do it, it would just be straight-faced. It wouldn't be.
Okay.
Interesting. That card tells me that you have a unobserved talent in leadership and teaching. Ignored, not given the chance to fully show your full strength. But if you were given the chance, there would be people who would listen.
I doubt it completely. Continue.
The king of strength always doubts his own strength. That's the point. He is humble, but he has knowledge. If only those who would listen, you would have much to share, I think. And she takes the deck and gotta put one on the bottom.
You rattle down the road, and in the distance, over the fields, you spot a river. This river flows as clear as a blue winter sky through the valley, throwing like a cool, almost clean mist up into the air as you drive. You continue on unimpeded.
Keep going. The cards can reveal a lot about people. You just have to have the right person to read them. Apparently, there is someone here in Barovia I should talk to about reading cards. Some Madame Ava or something like that. She's a sunny, apparently, like me. It's not why I'm here, though. I'm a merchant. I am trying to get goods where they're supposed to go. It's my job. But also, my uncle recently passed away 3 days ago. It is custom to take his ashes back to the den, our homeland where we came from. We brought my mother when she died, and now I have to bring him. Unfortunately, I have to do so alone. Or I did until I ran into some interesting individuals and got into this crazy situation, but, well, I go where the money goes.
And you're sure that this delivery's worth it?
And he gestures to the back of the wagon.
Like I said, I go where the money goes. She gestures to the crate that you had originally seen her pull a bunch of stuff out of. My livelihood is literally in quad. I kind of have no choice.
DM. Can Notch see within the surroundings anything that appears to be undead?
Roll perception.
15.
Nothing you can see.
Alright, he's gonna take out the lantern again and light it to test.
The flame remains strong.
He's like a normal, like, golden flame.
Yeah, normal golden flame. Despite the thing in the backseat.
Alright, he glances back at Chekhov and then nods and douses the lamp.
Good to know.
What was that?
I was told to bring one of these along. If you light the flame when there's undead nearby, flame turns green.
Yeah.
I was checking to make sure there wasn't going to be any interference from him or her with them.
That's why.
Stop. Hang on. I want to use one of my class abilities. Hold on. I need to just read what it would be. I think just roll Arcana. I am considered proficient in
Plagiarism.
like a double. Oh, I get double proficiency for this. Okay. Okay. So, I'm assuming this is going to be Arcana. So that's going to be... I get to... I'm considered proficient and I get to double it. So that'll be +6. That's a flat 20. Do you happen to know the value of that lantern? Like, material value, like money, gold-wise.
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. It was a common item?
It's a common magic.
Common magic item. It's probably at least 100 gold. I feel like it would be more than a common health potion.
I don't remember.
Well, you can determine it. You are DM. You can rule it. It's part of my class ability is I can study an item of arcane or just high value worth, and I can with my role I can determine its value and cultural importance.
I am going to say that it is going to be worth 150 gold.
Okay. She does like a low whistle, looking at it. She goes, "That is very fancy. Not a very cheap item to come by."
Yep, you can haggle with me until your face turns blue. Not giving it up.
I'm not going to take it. I just have an eye for things. I can size anyone up and determine exactly how much they're worth by the things they wear. Something my mother taught me. And then my uncle perfected.
On Wednesdays we wear pink.
What's we perfect? Why are you still around? I mean, what purpose do you have traveling with us besides him?
Hopefully, to get some more information regarding that Zubakar guy and his projects. So I only managed to pilfer these, and he pulls out a stack of research notes.
Can I see?
Considering that he was delivering stuff here, I figured someone else might know a bit more about his work.
Oh, yeah. She pulls out her own paper while taking that. He was in a crate sent to a guy named Cyrus at Castle Ravenloft. A staff person, I would assume. But and she pulls out the crumpled paper from just a pile of trash that lists him as defective. You're not getting your money back. He didn't start moving until we kind of got here. So, either that doctor guy doesn't really know what he's doing, or he didn't realize what he had created.
Personally, I'm kind of hoping for the latter.
But yeah, I don't know why they keep talking about this manor, because, gestures to Chekhov back. We brought him here from outside Barovia. He wasn't made here. Though he was commissioned to be made by the Count. He didn't seem very happy about that. Probably because he had just killed somebody in front of him.
Katya, make me a history check.
19. I guess as she's talking, and you've mentioned that doctor, she kind of turns and ruffles through clothing from the dearly departed and pulls something out. You know, the guy that we lost was also awfully interested in Chekhov. Yeah, you're not the only one looking at the Dr. Zaburker's experiments. We have a contact. He seemed to be from some kind of order. Did we hear him say Keeper of the Feather out loud at any point?
Nope, not
Okay.
once.
He seemed to be from some kind of
Well,
group.
no, his before he leapt at Strahd, he said the Keepers of the Feather won't stop with my death.
Oh,
you
okay, okay. I'm gonna assume that history check lets me remember that.
did. Sure.
He was from some kind of group, some kind of order, keepers of wing or flight or something like that. She's so bad at it. I'm playing off that she can't remember the full thing. Probably flight. There's like a KOTF here, something like that. There's somebody we can talk to about him. I talked to somebody this morning. I hold up the stone that's like hanging from my wrist. He had this on him, the sending stone to a particular person, a Irwin.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Well, he might know something. I mean, you want the know shit, right? And I'm pretty confident Chekhov does too. Maybe you two could work together in trying to figure out that kind of thing.
Maybe.
Well, we got a few more hours ahead of us, I think.
As you rattle along, suddenly the trees kind of choke the road a little bit more. And down the road, you see a small set of mounded dirt. Just as you're turning about to get to the crossroads. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do something that makes sense or if I'm going to stick with the module as best I can. I'm going to do something that makes sense to me. So, you turn to rattle past this small set of unmarked graves, and you see something shimmering into existence. Your camp lantern is no longer lit, correct?
No, you don't let it.
No, I just done a test light to see if Chekhov registered.
You see 5 figures shimmer into existence. They're like roll perception checks for me too. Do you say anything as you see this for the sake of our people in the back?
10.
12. I rolled a little higher than.
Do you say something for the sake of the people in the back?
I slow my elk down, like half speed.
They're manifesting in 240p.
Shimmery people on the road.
Ismark kind of like pulls Irina a little close.
Chekhov gets up and he motions to the front of the wagon.
Ismark gestures to, he just puts Irina down, makes her stay here. Comes up to the front.
Everyone looks out.
It's like the gang in the back of the mystery machine.
It is literally.
You see these 5 shimmering figures come into view, and doing something completely out of the module. I thought this would be fun.
Oh God,
It's not coming.
Oh boy.
That adjective paired with this module.
You see these like half shimmering people. You look through, very Guillermo del Toro, half flesh, half not. Dressed in surprisingly like fine clothes, like billowy sleeves, long frills at the edges. They all look like bards. And as you come close, they all turn their heads to look at you. You are slowing down. Do you stop entirely?
Do they seem hostile?
Doesn't look like it.
What expressions do they have on their faces?
Yeah.
Mildly curious and a little excited.
Hold on. I'm gonna make a wisdom.
Is the character's name 5 or 9 from
Okie
Umbrella
dokie.
Academy?
5.
I'm almost tempted just to be like 5. It's just like,
Katya is curious. So, seeing no hostility, she kind of pulls on the reins, slows the wagon down to kind of like just come to a stop.
Just in the curve in the road where these graves are set, you come to a stop, and as your elk come to a stop, something else shimmers directly in front of your wagon, right in front of your elk. You see 2 children. You see You see one that looks around 5 and one that looks around 2, just barely learning to walk. And the little one is holding on to her big sister's hand and just kind of is dawdling there. And the bards look at each other and look at you, and and their little instruments manifest before them, and a slightly discordant but lovely melody plays through the air.
When the kirk goes squeak and the tombstones quakes.
My brain went there too, unfortunately. Oh, I do like that though.
There's this a small like pianette in the background with a horn and the strings echoing through the trees. And snow starts to fall.
At the edge of a universe humming a tune with sparkling crystal souls aglow.
I don't know why I'm sounding really emotional.
The snow settles and crystallizes.
A part of thee in the key of what we know to be every part without thee knows only 2 can make it light.
The 2 kids look at each other and smile.
You'll live forever tonight.
The musicians start to vanish, bite by bite, withering to skeletons, and the children start to hollow and look at you with worry. And everything melts away. What do you do?
Alright, have they moved?
They're all gone. Every one of them is gone. All that you see is the curve in the road and the 5 unmarked graves.
Katya snaps the reins.
Keep going. You turn the corner and you see a house. Brightly lit, with fireplaces flickering invitingly inside. There's no one on the porch. There's no one in the garden. But as you trot past this long stone wall, crawling with the vines, you do see, as you pass the open iron gates, Durst Manor, as you pass.
Katya, seeing that, I think she probably shares a look with you. Notch. And brings the wagon to half speed. Just slows it down.
And you past the Iron Gate, and you're just moving at 25 feet.
Chekhov,
Yes.
that man that the priest mentioned. She gestures to the sign.
Irina stands up and tries to kind of instinctively kind of come towards the exit, and Ismark forcibly sits her down. He looks out.
What do you know about this place?
Only what my father told me.
What did he tell you?
Back when Barovia was normal and happy, it was a place of fertile land. It was a valley of plenty. And then Strahd came some 400 years ago, and the famine struck. The Dursts were said to be the first that gave into the dark powers. They did not have food, so they settled for passing travelers. No one knows exactly the reason why they turned from simply cannibals to true servants of the dark powers, but I'm not sure anyone wants to know.
Why would the priest accuse Chekhov from being from a place like this?
I don't know.
Do you have any memory of this place?
Do I?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. Roll history.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
Let's see here. That's going to total up to 21.
You've passed this place before. Pick one for me. Male or female?
We did male. Well, we did female, then we did male, and let's go back to female.
You remember hearing about this place. Your blonde hair is longer now. And you stand before the gates. It's a strange sense of deja vu. And odd mirror of sensation. As you stand before the gates and you stand several feet beyond them looking back. You know you have heard terrible things about this place, and you know that this place should be shut tight.
Let's keep moving for now. We need to recover our strength and heal from our injuries.
You'll get no argument from me. She's I feel like she's wrapped her throat with some of the stray bandaging from your previous spider boy. And I think while technically she hasn't lost any more health, mechanically, I think all of you have noticed her slowly be wilting and losing strength.
Blood loss is not a great thing to have.
She's not okay. I feel like she was running on adrenaline until now. So she just gently snaps the reins and brings the wagon back to full speed to get past here.
Notch gives you a little nudge and gestures to the back of the wagon.
Oh,
You rest, I'll drive.
are you sure? I would feel all right. And she hands over the reins, but instead of going into the back to rest, she just kind of scoots over so that you can sit comfortably and take over. And she just kind of leans back and just kind of shuts her eyes. She's gonna rest there in case something happens. Basically, passenger seat in the front.
Chekhov turns to Irina and asks, is this the only road that leads to Vallaki?
You rattle over a stone bridge that is old as the city, old as the town behind you. Probably old. Just beyond it, an old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. A well-worn road splits here. The signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia village to the east, the way you came. Sayre Pool to the southwest, to the northwest, and Ravenloft / Vallaki, southwest.
That's where we are.
The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves, shrouded in fog.
We have our destination. The elk know the way.
The path to Vallaki.
They turn down the road that says that it leads to Ravenloft and to Vallaki.
No, we knew we had to pass Ravenloft to get there. We already knew that.
I forget, do we have a map?
You do. She does.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And
If
I
you
remember
want to
pulling
scoot
it
that
out.
little marble up that way.
I remember pulling it out and that's realizing that the path passed Ravenloft, but we don't have a choice.
Well, I mean, like, is it going to be faster to go the other way?
Where does the other way go again?
Through the Sayre Pool.
Do I know anything about that? Has my uncle mentioned any places to avoid in Barovia?
You do know that, make a history check with advantage.
Okay. 17 plus 2, 19.
Because the more we travel, the more distance we travel in this module, the more rolls we have to make to encounter things on the road.
Okay.
And we're not
I am
limited.
playing off of Katya's knowledge, though, of this place from her uncle, so.
You remember that he has told you that there is a group of Vistani that camp at the Sayre Pool.
Do I remember him saying so in a way that made me feel like they'd be welcoming?
He did give the sensation like you would be welcome. Your uncle was also a superstitious man, and he seemed to treat these Vistani in particular with a sense of respect.
Okay, in that case, when we got to that sign that pointed the 2 different directions, and she saw that and remembered that, she's like, actually, go that way. There might be a place for us to rest safely that way. My uncle told me there are some of my people that camp there.
Sure, they're trustworthy.
They are a family, in a way. My uncle told me that I would be welcome, and I'm sure anyone that I bring would be. All you have to do is be respectful.
What time of day is it right now?
It is currently about 11 a.m.
A place to take a breather does not sound like a bad idea.
No, 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
Just for a little while. Then we'll get back on the road. I would at least like to see it with my own eyes.
Alright.
It's also faster, according to the map. And I gestured to the map.
Would you mind terribly if I stayed in the wagon? It is nothing against your people. It is just that,
Honestly,
the Vistani have a reputation here in Barovia.
That's fine. We get reputations everywhere. Personally, I actually do think it would be best if you and your sister stayed in the wagon out of sight, because the less people see you, the more less people will know where you're going.
Exactly.
So,
Thank you.
the 2 of you will stay in the wagon where it is safe. In fact, and she reaches back and she pulls on a rope, and the rest of the coverings fall. So the entire wagon of the back is completely covered. They would have to move the curtains to look out now.
Irina, kind of tries to reach past the curtains and rapidly signs, which you understand, and she's just starting to say, "I want to go," and he like pulls her back in. Stop it. It's like the Vistani historically work for Strahd. And she like wilts and just pouts, and she like gestures under her, just like low down, which you see, and she's like saying, "Never let me have any fun," and then she does this.
Cute.
What part? We were just. Do you?
She just looks at him and she's like,
That is not language befitting a young lady. And she says, "I don't speak."
I'll do you a reading later.
What does that mean? That it means she will draw cards for you. What kind of cards? It's like future cards. Ooh.
They are old, from family, mother to mother. I have promised Irene I'm going to give her a tarot reading in the future. That'll be a note for future self.
Okay. Continue on through the river Idlis Crossroads. Who's in front?
these two.
Okay. You hear a creaking noise behind you coming from the gallows. Where there was nothing before, now hangs a lifeless gray body. The breeze turns the hanged figure slowly so that it can fix its dead eyes upon you.
Fun.
I need you both to roll a d20. Tell me who rolls lower.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. What'd you roll?
8.
2.
Your hair is limp. Your eyes are dull and glassy. Your lips have no pallor to them, and your tongue hangs out, swollen and blue, locking eyes with you as you rattle away from the crossroads. And then the wind blows and leaves flutter, and then it's gone.
That was a nasty trick. Am I the only one who saw that?
You saw that?
Oh, you saw. Oh, so you saw it was my body too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty, nasty tricks.
The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. A canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of four barrel topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a campfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge. This is a welcome and familiar sight. There is something to having seen your own corpse moments ago that dampens your excitement. You have reached the Vistani encampment by the Sere Pool, and that's where we'll take a quick pause.